Alright, Ant continues his impressive year with his third 40 ball and his first 40-20, but to no one's surprise, of course it came against a bottom feeder, so he's another player that gets the memo. By the end of the first, he already had a full game stat line, so he had a chance of finishing with at least a 50-20 performance if anything, and it all started with that 29-6 run out the gates. If it wasn't a run out, it was him frying on his ones or him getting an inverted, and as I've been saying, there's really no defense when he's got his jumper going because there's just too much to honor. But he doesn't even need the rock to be effective because the pocket's always going to be open in that two-man game with either Austin or Braun, and if teams decide to red that, it's going to be a mismatch for him to either bully inside or get to the rim for deep positioning. That was one of the main ways he was eating up the O boards. And other times, it was a simple cross match in transition, or just him being too big or being in the right spot, and if he wasn't scoring, he was at least getting to the line. Mark Williams got to experience all of that firsthand because he couldn't get a stop and couldn't stop accumulating the fouls, and the most crucial free throws from Ant came at the end of the game to dead it. I've seen him have the free throw plague down the wire, so credit to him for making both. But the Lakers shouldn't have even been in that position after their start, and especially once Melo went out. Whenever I think they've gotten over their bad habits, I'm always proved wrong, because they just started getting nonchalant, and their offense was way too sticky. If it weren't for Ant or even Braun in the second half consistently making their shots, they could have lost, because a lot of their looks were coming one pass away, too quick in transition, or on ones, and that's excluding all the turnovers. Those were even worse than all the late clock situations they ran into, and all of those combined was how the Hornets started running it back. They were always capitalizing on their old boards, getting runouts, getting whatever they wanted in those SNRs, beating players off the dribble, and always threeing it from the right wing against the Lakers zone. It started in the second, then continued into the third, then that big run to start the fourth made it a 2-point game, and that's what happens when a team gets confidence throughout the night. But the Lakers were able to course correct with some steals to extend the lead again, and in a game of buckets down the wire, it was hard for Bridges to match what Braun and Ant were doing. Even though it wasn't the cleanest ending, the Lakers did just enough to win, but for where they're trying to get to, they can't keep taking 2 steps forward and then 1 step back. Just watch the tape.